A new generation of Pokemon is upon us, and with it comes new pocket monsters, mechanics, bad guys, and if you're lucky, maybe an evolution? One can only hope. Here's everything you need to know about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Every new mainline Pokemon game features a new region, and often these are based loosely on real-world locations. The very first Pokemon game, for example, took place in the Kanto region, which was modeled after Nintendo and the Pokemon Company's home nation of Japan. Other regions have been inspired by France, Hawaii, and most recently, the United Kingdom. The new region in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is Paldea, based loosely on Spain and the surrounding regions. That cultural influence shows in several Pokemon names, as well as elements of the new cooking mechanics. Based on released artwork, the full map appears to be very roughly the shape of Spain. In the Scarlet and Violet open world, you can see wild Pokemon wandering about, just like in Arceus and the wild areas of Sword and Shield. You can't simply catch a Pokemon by tossing a ball in the open world, however, but you can initiate a battle that way for a bonus. In a more marked change from the norm, you can even skip battles altogether by having your own Pokemon roam the landscape alongside you, passively picking up items and taking care of enemy Pokemon and racking up a reduced amount of experience. The new legendary Pokemon appear to serve as mounts for navigating the open world, letting you glide, climb walls, and run faster. Also, as a result of this open world approach, NPCs will no longer stop you in your tracks to initiate a battle. Instead, you'll get a visual indicator that they're interested in a trainer battle, and you can go up to them and accept the challenge if you'd like. Since the entire world is now essentially made up of a wild area, towns are more of a safe haven from wild Pokemon. Rather than multiplayer being restricted to a designated area like it was in Pokemon Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet allows you to explore the world with up to 3 other players. For the first time ever, the 2 different Pokemon versions will feature different Pokemon professors, Professor Sada and Professor Turo. These 2 not only represent different time periods, with Sada sporting a more historical look and Turo a more futuristic fashion, but they both continue the recent tradition of the Pokemon professor being a certifiable hottie. The game also features a cooking minigame similar to Arceus, which lets you either buy finished dishes or cook your own. Then you can eat the foods either in town or out in a field by setting up a picnic. These foods will give you passive buffs, such as boosting your chances of finding a particular Pokemon type, for example. As you explore the game and put together recipes, you'll find some foods that can help you catch specific Pokemon that you're hunting for. Scarlet and Violet also introduce a new Pokemon power-up, terastal forms. These give your Pokemon a crystalline look and enhance your moves, making them more powerful. Better yet, you can find rare terastal Pokemon that can actually equip types outside of their standard type classification. This will help you get a drop on opponents who weren't expecting a type matchup based on your Pokemon themselves, and should shake up the competitive metagame. It seems that these special terastal Pokemon will mostly be obtainable through special events and raid battles, but any Pokemon species has the potential to become a terastal form. A Pokemon's terastal form will also affect the power level of their attacks. If a Pokemon's Terra type matches their base type, then any move of that typing gets a 2x boost. If a Pokemon has a terastal type that differs from its base type, then any move of either typing will get a 1.5x boost. For example, Pikachu, an electric Pokemon, with an electric Terra typing will get a 2x boost to any of its electric attacks, like Thundershock. However, a Pikachu with a flying Terra type will get a 1.5x boost to any electric or flying moves that it knows. So there are pros and cons to both scenarios. In the former, Pikachu's electric moves get a bigger boost than if it had a different Terra type, but in the latter scenario, Pikachu has a more diverse range of attacks that get a slightly smaller boost. With the new open-world approach in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the linear structure of past entries in the franchise has changed as well. Instead of a single story, you can pursue one of 3 major quest lines: Victory Road, the Path of Legends, and Starfall Street. Victory Road is the most recognizable and classic quest in Pokemon, as you vie to be the very best, like no one ever was, by conquering regional gym leaders and, presumably, the Elite Four. This time you can pick which order to challenge the gym leaders, which means that difficulty balancing may be very different this time. In the one gym challenge we've seen, you didn't even battle a series of NPCs in the game. Instead, you play a brief hide-and-seek game with some Pokemon and then challenge the gym leader one-on-one. This could mean that gyms are more based around themed activities rather than battle gauntlets, much like the trials of Pokemon Sun and Moon. The Path of Legends revolves around researching gargantuan Pokemon known as Titans. There are a set number of these massive Pokemon roaming about, and you'll need to follow the clues to track them down and beat them in battle for research purposes. This may be the path we know the least about, because even on our hands-on preview, we were restricted from seeing the conclusion of the battle against a gigantic Clorf. Finally, Starfall Street is the new way of challenging the new antagonist, Team Star. These encounters are no longer woven in and out of the story. Instead, Team Star has set up outposts of their own, and you'll need to enter a special area to challenge them. In our time with the game, the one Team Star challenge was to take down a certain number of enemy Pokemon within a time limit, which then led to battling the leader of that Team Star outpost. Scarlet and Violet's new starters are Sprigatito, the grass cat, Fuecoco, the fire croc, and Quaxley, the water duckling. We've only seen their starter forms, so we don't know how they'll evolve. Some of the time, as Pokemon evolve, they gain new types on top of their original elemental attributes. Subsequent trailers have shown many more Pokemon, including favorites like Pikachu and Psyduck. We've also seen lots of new additions, like the cliff-climbing crab Clorf, the Mega Man-looking bipedal Amarouge, and the adorable Fido. At this point, there are way too many Pokemon to list in this video, so for more info, be sure to check out the link in the description, and make sure to subscribe to GameSpot's YouTube for a future video where we describe not only the different Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet, but the other differences between the two versions as well. As part of a new gameplay trailer shared in June, it was revealed that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet will release on November 18th, 2022, exclusively for Nintendo Switch. Pre-orders for Scarlet and Violet are now live. Nintendo is also producing a special edition Nintendo Switch that features the game's two legendaries, Koraidon and Miraidon, on the dock, along with the school emblems on the Joy-Con controllers. For more details on this special edition Switch, check out our Pokemon Scarlet and Violet pre-order guide in the link in the description.